Hello, comic book fans. Welcome back to Superhero Talk. Today is episode 21, and we're going to be covering The Fury of Firestorm. So, this is Fury of Firestorm, the Nuclear Man, Volume 1, The God Particle, part of the New 52. This book was written by Ethan Sciver and Gail Simone. My name is Brendan Strevick from the Priestley Forsyth Memorial Library. Thanks for watching and supporting us online like this, but make sure you stop in the library too. Far across the world, a man is being interrogated by some terrorists. They want to know about this thing, the size of a football. The son tells the terrorists that he doesn't have what they want, and the terrorists take their leave. It's football season in the town of Walton Mills. Meet Ronnie Raymond, star quarterback. The football team wraps up practice. A couple of students are watching the practice. This is Tanya and Jason. Tanya asks Jason, "Do you see that guy down there? He's a scout. He's here to watch Ronnie Raymond. I need you to interview Ronnie for the school paper." Jason goes to the locker room to interview Ronnie, but he's really not happy about it. He doesn't want anything to do with Ronnie and thinks Ronnie's just a dumb jock. Jason insults Ronnie and is overall very rude, and that's when Ronnie decides to end the interview short. Now in France, the terrorists looking for the canisters corner a doctor and ask him, "We have 3 of 4. We know you have one. Where is it?" The next day at school, Jason is in trouble for the article he wrote about Ronnie. Ronnie Raymond barges into the room angry. "You jerk! You want to say this crap to me? Say it to my face. I did nothing to you to deserve this." Fight is broken up by a gunshot heard outside. Students walk outside the classroom to see the football coach shot by the terrorists, and they decide to run. Ronnie wants to know who these guys are. What do they want? Why are they here? Jason tells the group, "Well, you know how I'm smart. Well, I'm very smart. And a great professor, Martin Stein, contacted me. He knew something like this would happen, so he gave these canisters to people he could trust most. Friend Trev is shot, and the terrorists have found him, and they ask Jason, 'Any last words?' And Jason tells them, 'Just one. Firestorm.' Canister in his hand blows up. Ronnie and Jason step out of the rubble, now transformed into weird beings. Ronnie shoots Jason and says, 'What did you do?' Jason tells Ronnie, 'I saved your life. Don't you get it?' Fight breaks out between the two boys, and they're flying through the air until an explosion goes off, and then they slam down into the ground. Tanya asks if the guys are okay, but then a fire monster steps out and says, 'The boys are gone forever. Say hello to Fury.' Fury starts to walk towards the terrorists, but Tanya asks what she should do, and Fury says duck and cover. Fury heads back towards the school where the terrorists are, and he finds them. The terrorists try to run away, but Fury catches up to him and cuts the one guy's arm off. Terrorists then try to escape in a car. Ronnie wakes up in a weird place, and he turns to Jason and asks, "What is this place?" Jason tells him it's a catalyst for something Professor Stein called the Firestorm Protocol. "I'm telling you, we're inside a walking nuclear man right now." Terrorist calls his boss, Miss Zether, to bring in reinforcements. They then blow up the school. Fury sees the explosion, and this sparks a fight between Jason and Ronnie. Ronnie wants to go after the terrorists for killing their friends, but they have to run. Two boys then separate and go back to their normal form. Ronnie tells Tanya and Jason he wants to go home, but Jason tells him he can't, or the terrorists will find him and his family. Jason's right, because just then a helicopter flies up and a bunch of men jump out. Jason and Ronnie transform into Firestorm and go into action. Jason and Ronnie start out good against this armed squadron, but soon they cornered Jason and they force Ronnie to surrender. Tanya jumps out ready to save Jason, but the terrorists shoot her. Jason freaks out and starts using his powers to take them all down. Jason is furious and corners the final one. He could take them down easily. Do they understand that? And Ronnie stops him. "You're not that guy, Jason." Away from this fight, Miss Zether of Zethertech is secretly watching this whole fight, and she sends in reinforcements. The boys look up only to find a giant hulking brute come their way. This brute is just destroying the boys, and they find only one way to stop him. They have to become Fury again. Now combined as Fury, Ronnie and Jason bring it to this brute, and they take him down easily. With this brute done, the boys separate again. Jason is going to take Tanya to the hospital. Meanwhile, Ronnie's going to track down the rest of these people. Ronnie tracks the remaining terrorists to a hotel, and he threatens them to come out. But then a helicopter shows up behind him. A woman reaches her hand out and says, "My name is Zether, Ronnie, and I'd like to be your friend." Jason gets Tanya to the hospital, and it looks like the bullet missed anything vital. Jason steps outside for some air, and he's cornered by a bunch of guards. And with them is Ronnie, who says, "Jason, you gotta meet these guys, they're awesome." At Zether Tech compound, Jason wakes up. Jason finds a note that Zether brought him fresh clothes. He then meets up with his dad. His dad tells him Zether bought him a home, Jason a car, and stocked the fridge full of steaks. Ronnie walks in and asks Jason if he wants to throw the football around. The boys both agree this seems a little too good to be true, and they're not sure what Zether really wants. Ronnie tells Jason, "You're the smart one. You're in charge this time. You call the play, I'll run it." Zether got a word that a terrorist attack was going to happen at the arena, and they send Ronnie and Jason. When they arrive, they find out the information was correct, and there's an evil firestorm there. Ronnie charges in and tackles this evil firestorm, and then slams him down into the parking lot. Stadium is being evacuated. Jason shows up to help Ronnie, but then this evil firestorm detonates and goes nuclear. Jason and Ronnie are devastated to be standing in a crater now. Ronnie falls to his knees. There's dust in the air. It's people. He's breathing in people, and he screams. Ronnie is traumatized, and he flies off in a rage. He splashes down into a lake, and the water blows up. And Ronnie's standing there. "I just evaporated a lake." Jason tells him not to worry. He can use his transmutation powers to remake the lake easily. Jason tells Ronnie that he can't blame himself. It was a rogue firestorm, and he tried all he could. But it's cut short when the boys are attacked by a new firestorm, calling himself Posar. Ronnie gets back up and attacks Posar, but Posar knocks him down easily. Posar then turns his attention to Jason and wraps him up in tree roots. Posar asks Ronnie and Jason who made them, and Jason tells him it was Dr. Martin Stein, and they had nothing to do with the nuclear blast. Posar tells the boys they're lucky this time, but the next time he won't be so kind. Posar then flies away. Ronnie tells Jason that they're going after the guy, but Jason doesn't want to. That guy took him down too easily. But Ronnie gets angry. 2,000 people died, and that's the only person who knows anything about it. Jason powers up, and then a fight breaks out between the two boys, and they go flying through the sky and then slam down into the street. The two boys pick themselves up from the rubble, and then Jason tells them, "You and me, we're done. It's over." And then Ronnie flies off and says, "Good luck forgetting what happened at the stadium." Miss Zether calls Jason, and he tells him that Ronnie's gone. But she already knows that's not the issue. A video came out, and people believe that they're responsible for the terrorist attack. News fans and army trucks show up, and they corner Jason, and Zether tells him to run. And there you have it, the complete story of the Fury of Firestorm, the Nuclear Men, Volume 1. If you want to know what comes next, pick up Volumes 2 and 3. Do Ronnie and Jason make up? What's the deal with all these rogue firestorms? Can Zether Tech and Miss Zether be trusted? I'm your host, Brendan Strevik. Thanks for watching Superhero Talk with the Priestley Forsyth Memorial Library, and thanks for supporting us online like this, but make sure you stop in person. This has been episode 21 of Superhero Talk. Stay tuned for more. Have a great one, everybody.